Speaker of the House of Representatives Mike Johnson was the subject of an inaccurate meme campaign some time ago that accused Mike of saying, "Every woman has a duty to birth at least one able-bodied worker." Mike did not say this precisely, but did he say it in effect? And what does it reveal about what the overclass thinks of the little people? Mike said at a House Judiciary Committee in May of 2022, in excerpt, "Roe v. Wade gave constitutional cover to the elective killing of unborn children in America. As a result, the lives of more than 63 million American children have been lost. You think about the implications of that on the economy. We're all struggling here to cover the bases of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and all the rest. If we had all those able-bodied workers in the economy, we wouldn't be going upside down and toppling over like this." End quote. Roe v. Wade aside, there are 4 conclusions to be drawn from that statement. 1. The government knows that its social service programs are hopelessly overextended. That is a nice way of saying that Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid are insolvent and are sustained only by borrowing money from the private cabal of banks known as the Federal Reserve. This is not news to the informed observer, but it is always refreshing to hear the government acknowledge its incompetence. The second conclusion is that the government expects the working class to compensate for the government's ineptitude through involuntary indenture. This is just as frightening, if not as insulting, as demanding women to populate the peasantry. It is frightening because it takes our society backward 248 years to a time when governments were a wealth aggregation tool for the aristocracy and nothing more. The governments of 18th century European monarchies did not serve the people. They fleeced the people through excessive taxation to fund the construction of theaters, palaces, and most significantly, endless wars to feed their infirmities and egos. The more things change. The governments of the Middle Ages and the Renaissance did not even pretend to be of the people by the people. Governments were established by the powerful to oppress and exploit the powerless. The powerful became known as the aristocracy, and the powerless became known as the peasantry. The third conclusion is that the people we elect to represent our interests do not see us as people, merely laborers to work the plowshare to fund the excesses of government. To use Mike Johnson's words, we are able-bodied workers, and not the single and legitimate source of power for the government as codified in the Constitution of the United States of America. I shudder to think of what a person might experience if they were not an able-bodied worker in Mike Johnson's America. Mike Johnson's implication is quite clear. The role of women is to produce taxpayers, and the role of taxpayers is to fund government. Such sentiments are not exclusive to one party or another. Whether Mike has a little r or a little d next to his name has no bearing on the perspectives of the members of the overclass. You will see such calloused attitudes in both major parties, expressed by a majority of the class members, even if such attitudes are veiled in pithy platitudes to placate the peasantry. The fourth conclusion is that Mike's critical thinking skills qualify him for work only as a politician. If the current population cannot fund our social service programs, an additional 63 million taxpayers could fund them only if they did not draw benefits from Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Maybe it is a good thing those 63 million people were not born, because in Mike Johnson's America, they would pay FICA taxes, but not receive the benefits. they would live without low-income health care, old-age health care, and retirement repayments to pay for the excesses and incompetence of the federal government. But that is a sacrifice Mike is willing to make. I am Mark Jacobin, and this is Jacobin Reaction. Remember to subscribe or follow this account for more indecisive commentary, pithy prognostications, and chewy satire. This has been a Jacobin Brothers production. All rights and lefts reserved.